God's a love that's divine, yours and it's mine like the sun. Well, there's a story about a CEO of a company who had been looking for a new president of that company. He had 3 finalists: the vice presidents of engineering, marketing, and finance. So the CEO had conducted previous interviews, but brought them back into his office for one final question. First, he called in the vice president of engineering, and he asked the person, "What is 2 plus 2?" And the engineer whipped out his pocket calculator. He punched in 2 plus 2 and answered 4.00000, all the way up to infinity. And the CEO thanked the engineering VP and called in the vice president of marketing and asked him the same question. What is 2 plus 2? The vice president of marketing immediately replied, well, it's 4, but it sounds a lot better if it's $3.95. So the CEO thanked the marketing VP and lastly called in the vice president of finance and asked him, what is 2 plus 2? The vice president of finance looked around the room carefully, and then he pulled up a chair next to the CEO and he whispered in his ear, what would you like it to be? Well, this message isn't meant for our board treasurer or our bookkeeper. But you can probably guess who got the job. Yeah? Who do you think got the job? Well, I think it all depends on your consciousness, doesn't it? So my question for you this morning is, what do you want your life to be like? And I invite you to close your eyes and let's ponder this idea, to open your imagination and to ask yourself, what is it that you want for your life? If and when you are prosperous beyond all imagination, what would that look like for you? In terms of relationship, finances, creativity, love, friendship. What do you behold? What do you see? What do you feel? And you can open your eyes. And let me see in your eyes what you will feel. Imagine that. You have all that you desire. And the truth of it is, you have all that you desire. Everything that you desire because you have the ability to receive it. That very desire that you feel is the essence and the presence of Spirit that wants to move through you in creative and powerful ways. So the very things that we desire are the things that Spirit offers us. And what we get to do, of course, is to distinguish between what is it that our spirit wants, our heart wants, our love wants, and what is it that our ego wants. 2 different things, yes. You know, Unity's 3rd principle is that human beings create their experience by the activity of their thinking, or as we like to say, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Meaning that we can bring into manifestation the very things that we focus our attention on. And I think that the next piece of that is that we can bring into manifestation the things that the Spirit within us wants to bring forth for us. Charles Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, wrote this in his book, Prosperity. What we need to realize above all else is that God has provided for the most minute needs of our daily life. And that if we lack anything, it's because we have not used our mind in making the right contact with the supermind and the cosmic ray that automatically flows from it. So if we're not experiencing that which is for our highest good, that the Spirit within us desires, then we still have some consciousness growing to do. Then we still have that opportunity to connect with that source so that we can work with this source to bring into manifestation that which this source desires for us. So if we are desiring more love or more money or more peace or more joy or more power or more truth, better relationships, a better home, whatever it might be that the Spirit desires in us, and we're still desiring that, then we have some work to do. Yay! Isn't that great? And if we can get to a place where we're totally happy with all that we have and everything is great, maybe we've reached that place. Maybe some of you had gotten to that place where you are just totally satisfied, where you're not in desire of anything. This greater awareness of God within us is the source of our supply. So often we can be stuck by our limited thoughts, our limited ideas, our belief that we're not good enough, or our belief that we don't deserve that we don't deserve to have fulfillment. We don't deserve to be loved. Anybody grow up with that? Don't deserve to be prosperous. Don't deserve to have good friendships. Don't deserve to be creative or powerful. These are all obstacles that present themselves to us so that we can move forward in our spiritual consciousness and develop that truth, that knowingness, so that we can experience the full potential that Spirit desires for us. Jesus said, very simply, seek first the kingdom of God before all else. And a lot of us, I grew up thinking that meant that I had to connect with or bow down to some presence up in the sky or up on a cloud. And now I realize, for me, what this means now is that I want to connect with that presence that is within me and everywhere in the universe. Yeah, it's not separate from us, like many of us were taught to believe when we were young. This presence is right here. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is right here where? It's right here at hand. All that we desire and all that we need is right here. The wisdom, the power, the love that we desire is here. We have access to it all the time. Isn't it great? Whatever it is that you desire, I desire, is right here, accessible to us in this moment. The desire that we have to be prosperous is actually the desire of God desiring to express in and through us. This presence, this power, wants to experience life through us to the fullest. because this is how this presence expresses itself. This is how God expresses itself, not as a person on a cloud or up on a plane or sitting behind a computer. It's that presence within you that desires to have a full, powerful, creative life. I like to think that every desire that we have is actually the presence of God knocking on the door of our consciousness, saying to us, what would you like? How will this feel? Oftentimes we can get into that feeling and what that will feel like when we have that which Spirit desires to express itself through us. And the first step, the first key to experiencing abundance is to have that relationship with Spirit, to have that relationship with God, to recognize that the presence and power of God is everywhere, all the time, wherever we are. It never goes away. It may seem like it when we lose that connection ourselves, but that presence of Spirit is always there, just waiting, saying, look at me. Here I am. Do you see me? Tapping on our shoulder. Yeah, here I am. Use me. Get to know me. I am you. I am that I am. I am that you are. Prosperity is our right of consciousness. It's the very creative essence, the substance of who we are, that desires to express and experience itself as us. Our job is to make contact with this essence and to call it forth through ourselves. Yeah. Wow. God desires to experience life as us because that's how God experiences life. Woo! Isn't that great? We just let let go of anything that isn't that presence and connect with it and say, okay, what can I do? What do I need to do? The next key is to realize that we are co-creators with God. You are a co-creator with God because you are the essence of God. God is the essence of you. I love the idea that how many of you grew up thinking that you had to pray for things? You can be honest now, nobody's looking. Yeah? Well, we were taught that if you want a relationship, you want a car, you want a new toy, you want some electronics, that you pray for it. Yeah? I don't think that's true. I think that if there's a desire within us, what we need to pray for are the ideas to bring that we desire into manifestation. Yeah, God can only do through us what we can do ourselves. Because that presence is here, offering us an abundance of ideas. The kingdom of heaven is an expansive kingdom of a multitude of ideas. And the way that we access that kingdom is by opening ourselves up to these divine ideas. In Unity, we have something called the creative process, or the metaphysical trinity, which is mind, idea, and expression. And the mind is a capital M mind. That's the God mind. And we all have access to that God mind. And if we are desiring, and the presence of God is desiring to express through us, we can access this God mind, and from this mind, draw forth ideas. And then take these ideas and put these ideas into action, into manifestation by moving our feet. I like the expression that we pray and we move our feet. Yeah, we don't just pray and know that think that it's going to manifest for us, we get to exert some energy and some effort into pulling forth that which Spirit desires to express through us. Yeah? So we pray not for things, but for ideas. The third key for abundant living is the law of giving and receiving. When we understand that God is the source of our supply, we become co-creators with this energy. And we begin to be able to pull things out of the invisible world into the manifest world as expressions of God. We are actually working with Source to bring what appears to be invisible into manifest form. And if we look at the law even deeper, we understand that in order to receive, we must first give. The law of abundance says that in order to receive, you must first give. The source, or the multitude that is available to us, is unlimited. Held in place only by our inability to give. Because we know that as we give, we receive. And we don't give to receive, but in order to receive, we need to first give. That's the law. Joseph Campbell said, "Money is congealed energy, and releasing it releases life's possibilities." Isn't that wild? What a great way to think about, this energy that we carry, that it's actually the potential for possibility. And the piece of this that I really like, being on this spiritual path, is the realization that when I give my money to places that serve me spiritually, that energy increases and it comes back to me multiplied. Now I'm going to mention the T word, and that word is tithing. I've been tithing for 25 years, and I always tithe to people, places, and organizations that feed me spiritually. And I have to say, in the 25 years that I've been tithing, I've never had lack. I've always had enough of everything that Spirit desired through me. Money, friends, love, opportunity, creativity. And I know that this comes to me because I am dedicated to giving back, to giving to the energy of creation, to the energy of spirituality, to the energy of possibility. So, and I would love to say, and to have all of you tithe to Unity Church of Maui, or to tithe to places that spiritually feed you. And I would love to see you tithe 10%. There's something funny about this 10 number. I think we run away from it, like most things we run away from on our spiritual path that have the possibility to transform our lives. That was one of those asides. Because there's something in that number that pushes our buttons. There's something that we, it seems to me, resist doing. Anybody else? Because we go, 10%. I'm supposed to give 10%. Well, like Edwin Gaines says, well, that means you get to keep 90% of it. And 10% isn't very much. And whatever we give is multiplied. So I'd like to invite you, if you're not already tithing to Unity Church of Maui or to another source of your spiritual food, that you try another amount. Try 5%. Try 2%. You will receive in return to you in proportion to that which you give. I've heard Edwin Gaines say, I started tithing and I started at 5 and then I went to 7 and I started receiving so much that my life just transformed. And so I gave 10. And then she said, I gave 20 and I gave 25%. And she said, what I've discovered is I can't outgive God because everything comes back. So I'd like to introduce that idea, and I have another one for you. In your bulletin, you might have noticed this little flyer that we made and put in there. And this is called Unexpected Income Program. And it's been developed to sort of give us an opportunity to practice tithing. But the beauty of it is you don't have to tithe on your regular income. I'm not trying to discourage you from doing that, but I'd like you to see this as an opportunity to do an experiment with me. Are you interested? It's just an experiment. So you're going to tithe 15% of everything that comes to you as unexpected income. So it's not like even on your radar. It's money that comes in as long as we do this program. And what I'd like to invite you to do is to fill out the bottom of the page where it asks for your name, to print your name, to sign it, and your email address and your phone number. And to send this to me, to the church, or you can email it to me. And then I'd like you to tell me your stories. Tell me how things shifted in your life when you began to tithe on your unexpected income. And I know there's going to be shifts. I've done this program before. We've done it here before, and people came forward with incredible stories to tell us, this is what happened to me. This money came from nowhere. I got this check in the mail. And so I'd like to invite you to send me your stories, and I'll figure out some way to publish them or to tell more people about them if you desire. And if you don't want it to be known, let me know that you don't wish for it to be published. And there's a wonderful prayer on here that's called My Prayer for Unexpected Income. And I invite you to say this in the morning and to say it at night. And let's just have fun with this and see where it goes. And for the people who are watching us on YouTube, I'm going to post this on our Facebook page and on our website so you can participate as well. Our newsletter goes out to over 700 people. The e-blast that we send out every week, so I'm going to include it in there, and we'll see where it goes. So giving and receiving is the third key for abundant living, and the fourth one is an attitude of gratitude. And this one is to give thanks for everything you receive. All the prosperity, all the love, all the wisdom, all the joy, all the peace that you feel, to give thanks for it. I like to give thanks for what I'm going to receive before I receive it. Because when we open to that and we give thanks in advance, it opens a place in our awareness that makes space for that which is to come. Very powerful to give thanks in advance. And I invite you also to have a thanks party and to go around your house and give thanks for everything that you have. Yeah? I think sometimes we forget how blessed we are to have these lives, to live in these bodies, to have the prosperity that we have, And I know that when we give thanks for that which we have, it opens the energy field so that we attract more of that. It's like things, there's a vibration that goes out that says, wow, you like this? You like love? You want more love? Here you go. You want more friends? You like friends? Here's more. You like prosperity? You treat your money well? Well, here's some more money. It's like we are vibrating energies of love and light that attract to us that which we hold in love. So I invite you this week to really focus on, what are you grateful for? Where I live, there are